Hi, before we start, I have a question for you. Raise your hand if you never felt the frustration of being caught in a never-ending traffic jam caused by sudden collision, or if you never personally experienced this heart-pounding moment where you've been part of this unexpected life-altering event on the road. So according to the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, 77% of motorists in the United States will be involved or have been involved at least in one car accident in their lifetime. This is a statistic that really resonates with most of us, if not all of us. So again, I'm Bryce Ate, an ETL developer. So I invite you today to embark with me in a data-driven journey into the bustling street of the city of Seattle. Today, we'll explore a project that will aim to shed the light on an issue that touches our life more than we may realize: traffic collision. We'll delve into the depth of a comprehensive data where was designed to uncover insight, pattern, and solution to make the Seattle road safer for everyone. And this will lead me to my problem statement. So the city of Seattle is the main city of the state of Washington with 3.4 million of population. And in 2019, where we're in COVID era, there have been like 11,000 collisions and 26 fatality. So this staggering number kind of raised the flag for the city. So they come up with a solution to try to carve down on those high number of traffic collision and fatality. So they come up with what they call the Vision Zero, which is the city stating goal to eliminate traffic fatalities by the year 2030. So that's where come my project. So I have to propose to the city a repository of data that have all the collision from the year 2024 to the year 2021, so that they can have insight, they can have report to lead the action. So at every given moment, they can assess the action if they're on target to reach the Vision Zero goal, or if they have to make more corrective action. Here's the objective of my project. So the data set, it came from the catalog data, which is a website that have government data set. And then to lead this action, I have 3 KPIs that will lead the analysis to help the city try to assess their goal at every given moment. So the first KPI was the total number of traffic collisions. So like every year, they have to see if the number of collisions are going down or up, so they can see if they're still on target. And the second KPI is the total number of traffic fatalities. Also to see if the fatalities, the action that they're taking to achieve their goal, have the number of fatalities going down year over year. And then the last one, the third KPI, is the leading cause of contributing factor of accidents. So they have to come up to identify which one of the factor that as the leading that cause accidents. So if they identify this contributing factor, then they can make action to change the trajectory of accident. So here comes my data flow. So the data flow, the data set was first in CSV format, and then for the business, according to the business requirement, I have to use that in JSON. So we convert this CSV file into JSON format, and then from the JSON format, we extract this data into the staging layers, and from the staging layer, going through some transformation, we load the data into the ODS layer, and from the ODS layer, load it in the data warehouse. So before we can move to the data warehouse, the ODS layers will help the city have analysis like into on the fly, if I can say, like in before the end of the year, every month, every week, they can come up with analysis to see if they are on target when it comes to reducing the number of collision with fatalities. Then here's the insight of my staging layer. So I have a sequence container, and then a SQL tags to truncate my staging table so that I don't have any duplicate when I run my loading every time. So, and then inside of my staging, I have the script task that read all the JSON file and load them into my staging table. Then we move to my dictionary, my ODS layer, which is composed with 4 dictionary table. And then, like I said prior, the ODS layer will help the city have any analysis at every given time. So they can have interactive fact about, like, find out where are the roads where are more prone to have accident, or where are the day of the week, or where are the part of the city where people are spending more. So having all those information is being available to them through the ODS layer. And then from the ODS layer, I load the data into my dimension table, into the data warehouse. So I have 5-dimension table. We've mentioned the very important daytime dimension. Without it, we cannot have any data warehouse project. So I load the data into my dimension table using the slow merging dimension, the slow changing dimension type 2, using the merge schema. And then from my dimension table, I load my data into my fact table. I have one fact table, which is fact collision, and then I load in using lookup transformation, because all the data into my dimension were data that was clean. So I look up all the key from all the dimension and load the data into my fact table. Here's my data model, which is the star schema, where you can see the fact table in the center of the structure, and then all the 5-dimension table all around my schema. And then here's the overview of my ETL solution, with the 3 layers: the staging layer, the ODS layer, and the data warehouse layer. So from my data warehouse, I was able to come up with some insight into the data. So the good news is that we have a positive insight. So the positive insight, like I said before, the city wants to see is every year the number of collisions are going down or up. So we can see that in 2010, we have the number of collisions from 2009 and 2010 decreased from 8.74%, which was kind of the highest decrease between 2 years. And then also that year, the city have the lowest total collision, which is 11,615 collision. That year too, the number of fatality was the lowest. So this was a good year for the city of Seattle. Unfortunately, yes, the query that we run to have this insight. Unfortunately, we have also some negative insight that we have. So in year 2019, which is the COVID year, we have like 71.43% of increase in the fatalities from the year 2018 to the year 2019. So this raised the red flag for the city. How can we come up from, instead of getting on track to reduce the number of fatality, the number jumped? So when we look into the data, we realize that this was the highest increase for the past 10 years, despite the fact that on that year, the number of fatalities, the number of collision was the lowest one. So this showed that the correlation between the number of collision and the number of death was a little bit off. So we got to deeper in this year to find out what really happened. So that brings me to my suggestion. So again, like I was saying, despite being COVID year in 2019, we realized that in 2019 and 2020, we have like 24 and 20 fatality, which is for the highest since 2010. So looking into this data, we realized that 13 of those 24 fatalities, more than 50% were pedestrian. So to address this issue, one of my suggestions was that the city should have devices that they put at every traffic light that give longer heads up to the pedestrian across the road. And also they have to put no turn on red on all those busiest intersections, so that they can give more time to the pedestrian to cross before the car can engage. And also for our third KPI when we want to find out which one was the most higher risk of causing collision. It was between the speeding and driving under the influence. So we realized that 500 collision in average a year was due to speeding and 400 for driver under the influence. So for them to achieve their goal of Vision Zero by the year 2030, the city then should increase the number of safety campaigns that target driver accountability and responsibility. That's the only way, because that's kind of the main cause of collision. So they have to go hard on this cause if they want to carve down the number of collisions that they experiences. Also, city authorities should tailor the strict speed limit enforcement policy on the most accident-prone routes, like, because speed is kind of one of the major causes of accident. So if they, through my data warehouse, they can identify the road that have more accident and then have stricter speeding limit policy on those roads. And finally, while there have been some fluctuation over the year, the overall trend is a decrease in the number of collisions due to driving under influence, with a year-over-year decrease of 57.53% in the year 2020, which is a good news. However, the fact that there are still 190 collisions due to driving under the influence in 2021 suggests that there's still room for improvement. Therefore, implementing a stricter law and regulation, such as increasing penalty for drink driving and lowering the legal blood alcohol limit, could deter individuals from driving under the influence. So this concludes my presentation. Thank you for your attention. And then if you have any questions, I'll be more than welcome to answer them for you. Thank you.